Hey, welcome to Happiness Bar, where my goal is to share cocktails, content, and happiness. Today is Mocktail Monday, baby, and we're gonna make a little mocktail in ode to one of my spring cocktails off my spring craft cocktail menu. So this mocktail, we're gonna make a Rosebud Tea. It's made with lemon juice. It's made with rose honey syrup, a little bit of saffron coriander syrup. We're gonna shake that up. We're gonna top that with a little bit of soda and tonic water. This cocktail is called Rolling Stone, baby. So where did Hunter S Thompson write for so much of his career? Rolling Stone, baby. So the build for this Rolling Stone mocktail is 1.5 ounces of rosebud tea, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, 3/4 ounce rose honey syrup, 1/4 ounce of our saffron syrup, 1 rosebud in the cocktail shaker. We're gonna shake that up. We're gonna double strain it. We're gonna serve that over ice, and we're gonna top that with a little 50-50 blend of soda and tonic water, and we're gonna garnish that with some rosebuds on a skewer. All right, so all that being said, we got a little bit of prep to do today, so let's go ahead and just jump right into the prep work. The tools you're gonna need for the prep: you're gonna need a tablespoon, you're gonna need a cutting board, you're gonna need a knife, you're gonna need a kitchen scale, something that can weigh out grams, you're gonna need a citrus juicer, you're gonna need a spice grinder or a mortar and pestle, you're gonna need a mesh basket strainer, you're gonna need a bar spoon or something you can stir with, you're gonna need a pot, and you're gonna need some sealable storage containers. All right, so the first bit of prep we gotta do is we gotta make that saffron and coriander syrup. So the recipe for that saffron coriander syrup, we're gonna need 30 strands of saffron, 1 healthy pinch of ground coriander, 250 grams of sugar, 250 grams of water. And then basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 4 tablespoons of that sugar and all the saffron strands, and we're gonna grind that up in our spice grinder or mortar and pestle until it becomes a powder. Then we're gonna take that as well as the other sugar and water and coriander, add that all to the pot, bring it up to a boil. So to start, let's go ahead and grab our kitchen scale and our spice grinder. We are also going to need our tablespoon, and we are going to need a container to weigh in. Place that container on there, make sure that's zeroed out. Let's grab our sugar. Got our sugar, let's weigh out our 250 grams of sugar here. Try to do it without spilling it all over the place, because I have a knack for doing that. 250 grams of sugar. All right, so we got our 250 grams of sugar. I'm just gonna place that to the side here. And we got our fresh saffron here. Now I'm gonna count out about 30 strands. It's a little tedious. 1, 2, 30. We'll just add a little extra there. All right, so we got about 30 saffron strands. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my sugar, my 250 grams, I'm gonna take 4 tablespoons out and put it in to my spice grinder here. Or if you have a mortar and pestle at home, you could do mortar and pestle as well. And then we're gonna take all 30 of our saffron strands and pour that in there with the 4 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, all that's in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and grind this up into a powder. Now, if you're using a spice grinder like this, be careful when you take the top off. This doesn't go everywhere. Gentle. Oh, we got a powder, baby. Smoky. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this into my pot carefully. Got all that saffron and that sugar all powdered and ground up in there. All right, and I'm gonna take that rest of my sugar here and add that in with the powdered sugar mixture and saffron. Then grab my scale back, turn on my scale, place my container on there, zero that out, and we're gonna weigh out 250 grams of water. All right, 250 grams of water into the pot with the sugar and the saffron. Instantly turns this golden yellow color. Super cool. You'll see it when I pour it back into the container here. Next, what I'm going to do. Now, if you can find whole coriander pods, you could do 6 coriander pods, crack them up a little bit, and then put them in. I didn't have that option because for whatever reason I couldn't find them. So I just went with the powdered coriander. It'll still do the same. It'll still get that like coriander note added in. So I just want a healthy pinch, right? So I'm gonna go like do a little 3-finger pinch, right? That's probably what about 6 coriander pods is right there. Maybe a pinch and a half. All right, and we got everything in our pot. Let's go ahead and turn our burner on to a medium-high heat. I'm gonna grab my bar spoon, and we're just gonna give this a stir. And we're gonna mix it in really, really well. Nice note of saffron and coriander in the air. Beautiful. All right, so I have my saffron and coriander syrup going. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that up to a boil, let all that sugar dissolve, and once the sugar dissolves, we're gonna pour it into a container and we're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes. All right guys, so that syrup's getting close. While I'm waiting on that, I'm just gonna grab a piece of blue tape here. I'm gonna label in date, and that syrup will probably be good for up to a month refrigerated. All right guys, we got that up to just about a boil. Looks like all the sugar is dissolved. I'm gonna take my saffron syrup here and just gonna pour this into this container and let that chill for about 30 minutes. We can just set that aside, wipe the edge, and you can see this beautiful golden color in there coming from the saffron, man, and all the little red flakes in there from the saffron. It's super pretty. Throw a lid on that so I don't spill. I'll leave it a little bit open. All right, so our saffron syrup is done. Next, we're gonna get making that rose honey syrup. The recipe for our rose honey syrup is 250 grams of honey, 250 grams of water, and 25 grams of rose water. So we're gonna need our kitchen scale. We're gonna need a container to weigh in. We're gonna place that on the scale, make sure that's zeroed out. And let's go ahead and grab our honey. And again, we're looking to weigh out 250 grams of honey. All right. 250 grams of honey. Let's get that into the pot. Next, place that container back on the scale, zero out that scale, and we're gonna weigh out 250 grams of water. 250 grams of water into the pot. Grab another container, place it on that scale, zero it back out, and we're gonna grab our rose water, and we're gonna weigh out 25 grams of rose water. All right, 25 grams, add that to the pot. So good. Go ahead and get that burner turned on to a medium-high heat, and we are just going to heat this up enough to where the honey thins out and starts to infuse into the water and the rose water. And that will give us our rose honey syrup. And while we have our rose honey syrup going, I'm gonna go ahead and heat up some water for our rose tea for that Rolling Stone Mocktail. Now, I got a little instant boiler here, so this shouldn't take too long. If you don't have one of these, you can use a pot, you can use the microwave, whatever you want to do to make your tea. And for our tea, I'm just going to use the recipe that is on the box, which is 2 grams of rose buds to 12 ounces of water. So I'm going to place this on the scale. I'm going to zero out that scale. Oh yeah, I love these, man. These pretty little dried rose buds. You can order them on Amazon. Just these little guys here. I love these. So we're gonna weigh out 2 grams of our rosebuds here. 2 grams of our rosebuds. And you can make a larger batch of this rose tea. I'm just making this amount because that's all I really need today. But yeah, 2 grams for every 12 ounces of water. They even give you this nifty little sealing thing to seal this bag back up to keep it fresh. All right, our water is heated up. I'm just gonna zero out that scale. I'm gonna switch it over to fluid ounces. And I'm gonna just weigh out 12 fluid ounces. Right, go ahead and stir our rosebuds in. Mix it around with that hot water. And we're just gonna let that steep for about 3 minutes and then we can strain it out. All right, our rose honey syrup is done. I'm just gonna grab a container, label and date as always. Go ahead and pour that in to our container. Grab a little lid and we're gonna set that aside as well. All right guys, so we gotta juice our lemons. So let's go ahead and grab our cutting board. We'll grab our citrus juicer, grab our knife, and we're gonna get all our lemons sliced up and juiced. All right, grab 3 containers. Let's go ahead and juice these bad boys. We're juiced. Let's grab our basket strainer and double strain our citrus juice as always. Once, get rid of that pulp, and twice. Grab that blue tape to label and date. And remember guys, lemon juice good for 2 days, throw it out on the 3rd day. All right guys, so all our prep work is done. We got our lemon juice in this cheater bottle here. We got our rose honey syrup in this cheater bottle here. Our saffron syrup in this cheater bottle here. We got our rose tea. As you can see, it's super light, but it definitely picks up a little bit of that color from the rose. So this is a shaken mocktail, right? The Rolling Stone, baby. So let's start with our shaker tin, and we're gonna need our jigger. We're also gonna need our glassware. All right, so cheapest ingredients, most expensive ingredients. We got 3/4 ounce of our lemon juice, 3/4 ounce of our rose honey syrup, 1/4 ounce of that saffron syrup. We need 1.5 ounces of our rose tea. We're gonna throw 1 rosebud into the shaker tin so it picks up all those pretty little flecks. Let's go ahead and grab the large side of our shaker tin and ice our tin and our glassware down. Fill that shaker tin to the top with ice. And fill up our glassware and seal up our shaker tin, shaking for 12 seconds. Seconds, crack that shaker tin open, grab our hawthorn and our basket strainer. Double straining, baby. Look at the pretty color on that from the saffron syrup and from the rose. You see all the little flecks in there. And we're gonna top this mocktail with a little 50-50 blend of soda and tonic water. Grab your bar spoon, let's agitate that mocktail. Grab a little rose gold colored skewer. We're gonna garnish this baby with 3 little rosebuds, just like so. And there you have it, baby, the Rolling Stone. Let's taste. Put those down. Definitely get the rose on the nose. It's light, it's bright, the lemon juice comes through, that subtle hint of rose tea. You get the sweetness from the honey, and you get those kind of saffron notes, those coriander notes coming in, nice and sparkling. And you could crush this by the pool, man. This is bright. It's like a rose, saffron, sparkling lemonade almost. This thing is nice. Oh, and I am thirsty and hot and enjoying this Rolling Stone. There it is, guys, the Rolling Stone. Another beautiful mocktail on this Mocktail Monday. Make this with your friends. If you had a little too hard of a weekend and you were crushing it, maybe it's a Monday, but you still want to treat yourself. Make one of these beautiful mocktails, baby. The Rolling Stone in all its glory. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Maybe you made it along with me. Maybe you wrote down, say, for a later date. Either way, let me know how you're liking everything. And as always, guys, become a regular. Become a regular of a local watering hole. It's the best way to support local business. Become a regular here at Happiness Bar by liking, commenting, subscribing. We got Mocktail Monday videos coming out every so often, but we definitely got cocktail videos coming out every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern to get you ready for the weekend. This will maybe help you recover from your weekend. Stay happy, everyone.